Hey, how's it going? Amelia here. Let's see what's making news. Today, the government announced its 10-year Closing the Gap strategy. It's all about improving the lives of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and eliminating the gap between Indigenous and non-Indigenous Australians.
The idea of closing the gap is all about making improvements in areas like healthcare, education and employment to help Indigenous Aussies, something young Yolngu leader Sienna is passionate about.
It's always good to recognise that there is a gap between opportunities for non-Indigenous people and Indigenous people.
This year the government has set 16 targets, including to make sure that at least 67% of young Indigenous people are being properly educated, that 96% finish Year 12, and that Indigenous languages are spoken more commonly.
I think it's so good to try and get Indigenous languages in school because before any European settlement, that's what was thriving in this country, were those languages and those cultures.
For the first time ever, the government's committed to reducing Indigenous prison rates by moving 30% of young Indigenous people who are in jail out of detention by 2031. While the previous Closing the Gap scheme largely failed to reach its goals, Sienna's hopeful this new strategy will take us one step closer to completely closing the gap.
What I've always wanted is to see young non-Indigenous and Indigenous people coming together and learning from each other. We're all humans, you know? We want to make sure that we're all in it together.
Victoria has seen its worst single-day rise in COVID-19, with 723 more cases. From midnight tonight, restrictions will start in parts of regional Victoria. No home visits, weddings or funerals, and from midnight Sunday, masks will be mandatory in all of Victoria. Premier Daniel Andrews says things will only get better when people listen to expert advice. Okay, what has 6 legs and fights crime? No, it's not 3 police officers tied together. It's the CSIRO's new team of superhero insects. Yep, Aussie scientists have unveiled 166 new species, and some of them have been named after Marvel heroes.
Their secret identities have been hidden for millions of years. But now, they're coming to a backyard near you. Meet the newest superheroes of entomology. These 5 insects are part of 164 new species described by the CSIRO. And they've got some pretty, well, marvellous names. First, there's Deadpool's fly, because the markings on its back look just like his mask.
Really?
Yeah, really. Then there's this very sleek fly named after Black Widow. And even a fly named after comic book legend Stan Lee. The resemblance is uncanny. But while naming these critters may seem like a bit of fun, it's also a crucial job. Experts say that without a name, some species could disappear without us even realising. In fact, scientists reckon we've only actually discovered about 25% of all the species in the world. So go out and explore. You never know when you'll uncover the next 6-legged superhero.
They say it takes 2 to tango, and that's definitely backed up by this next segment, which is all about showing that 2 are better than 1. Why ride a bike on your own when you can ride a bike with another person? That's pretty much what Kat and Raz thought when they set off from the UK on a journey around the world. They cycled for 263 days, 8 hours and 7 minutes through 25 countries, riding more than 100 Ks a day, earning them a Guinness World Record for being the fastest to do it. Something this duo were clearly stoked about. Turning 1 is quite the milestone, even when you're a southern white rhino, which is why keepers at San Diego Zoo threw this wild party. Unfortunately, Edward wasn't as impressed with the party as zookeepers hoped. So he's hoping his second birthday is better than his first. And try holding these 2 ducks back from a big bowl of peas. Yep, turns out ducks love the mushy green veggies, as proved by this video from a backyard in the UK. Would 2 bowls be better than 1 here? Probably, but these 2 don't seem to mind one bit. If you want to see more of me, and me, then make sure you hit that subscribe button right down there. I like this. I think 3's a crowd though.